What's this I hear about you wanting off the Avery case?
I just don't think I'm the right person to try it.
Yeah, that's not what I heard. You've made several impassioned arguments on her behalf. Perhaps you'd like to defend her instead.
Well, she could use better representation than that self-serving Snake Burger.
Reptile though he may be, Morty Berger's a damn good attorney. He deserves a worthy adversary.
I think I'm more sympathetic to Cheryl than a prosecutor should be.
A good ADA has to think on both sides of the fence. Your empathy is a strength, not a weakness.
You know, if Cheryl had been born a woman, a jury would have no problem acquitting her.
She killed a man. What do you care what sex she is?
Because that, and not the evidence, is what's going to convict her.
Now, what's going to convict her is a jury of her peers, not angels or divine ethical beings.
I suppose it bothers me more than it should.
Well, I'll reassign the case if you like. But you might want to consider who's going to give Cheryl Avery the fairest treatment. You or some other prosecutor who will put her gender on trial. Your SVU detectives got you in a real mess, Alexandra.
They were trying to cooperate with a federal investigation. They didn't have much of a choice.
I'm not asking you to defend them. I'm just trying to figure out how you're going to get out of it.
There's nothing to get out of. Petrovsky will subpoena the DEA agent, the warrant will stand, and Zapata will go away for 25 to life.
That easy, huh?
Everyone understands the sensitive nature of the DEA investigation. Petrovsky has no reason to jeopardize that. All efforts will be made to maintain the witness's confidentiality.
So you're operating under the theory that if we don't see the immediate threat, then it must not be real.
I know it's real. An NYPD officer is dead because of it.
Yes, that's true. And how many people would you guess know that information now?
I'm not sure. A dozen, maybe more.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Now, you know as well as I do that confidential is a relative term, directly proportionate to how interesting said confidential information is. And this is too interesting, Alexandra. Cut Zapata a deal. Coming in. Your ears still ringing?
Yeah, a little.
That'll pass. You know, I had a buddy that did 3 years in Bogota at the embassy. There was a time when one police officer got murdered every single day. Over a 2-month period, Pablo Escobar set off 9 car bombs.
Well, it's a good thing we live in the United States.
Yes, it is. And there are plenty of judges and prosecutors and former law enforcement in this country walking around every day, the rest of their lives, with bodyguards, because they stood up against a Colombian cartel that will do anything to protect its business.
That's all the more reason to continue to fight them.
We've been fighting them since before you were born, Alexander. Now, we're going to drop the Zapata case.
Why? How bad does this have to get? How many more people have to die?
From what I hear, the feds have a much better case against him than we would ever have now. And to answer your question, too many people have died already.
Got a minute?
When you rescue a little girl, you get 2. Have a seat.
I can't do it.
Sure you can. Just bend your knees and let gravity take over.
It's not what I'm talking about.
I know.
I want out.
Why? When you've got a slam dunk in your very first case.
I can't let go of what that little girl went through.
I was watching you for this job when you were in white collar. Knew you were tough, but weren't sure you were the right person.
I'm not.
The fact that it affects you like this tells me my first instincts were right.
What are you talking about?
This case was the ultimate test. And you passed with flying colors.
But I don't want it.
You will.
Ian Tate wasn't raped. It's just a lame attempt at a gay panic defense.
He came on to me, so I killed him.
Yeah, that defense rarely works. You know, the trial judge in the Matthew Shepard case didn't even allow that theory to be presented.
But in New York, gay panic falls under extreme emotional disturbance.
And juries still don't buy it.
Then why are you so worried? Because you know this isn't about the letter of the law. It's about the jury and their prejudices. And if even one juror thinks that gays are predators and sinners, then your murder conviction gets knocked down to manslaughter.
If not an acquittal.
Now, the Supreme Court may have advanced gay rights in that Texas case, but they also incited a bit of backlash.
All right, so what am I supposed to do about that?
Take the juice out of the defense. Prove the defendant himself is a homosexual, and gay panic goes out the window. You can't lose your mind over a homosexual advance if you're gay. Now, the tricky part is not playing the politics. They want to make this about straight versus gay. You make it about murder. Hell of a strategy. Nina lost her virginity, was afraid of what her traditional Muslim brother might do if he found out, so she lied about being raped.
Yeah, Whitaker wants to use Milan's attack on me to bolster his case. He's violent, therefore Nina's afraid, so she made up a story about being raped by Gabriel Duval.
It's a compelling argument.
I can win this motion. A, I'm up in front of Judge Trillin. He loves me. B, well, the way I look, I'm gonna get the sympathy vote.
Casey, I'm taking this case away from you.
You can't. Not after what I've been through. No one wants to win this case more than I do.
Which is exactly why you can't try it. Whitaker was right. You're too emotionally involved. I've already reassigned the case.
To who?
Tracy Kyber.
She's a homicide ADA. She's not used to live victims. Nina won't be able to relate to her.
Well, she'll have to, because Tracy's putting Nina in the grand jury tomorrow morning. Conference room, now.
What was that about?
That's probably just about another subpoena I sent out.
For what?
Donald Rumsfeld.
You're gonna fix it, and that's the end of the story.
Fix what, sir?
Oh, I don't know, maybe calling the Secretary of Defense a murderer?
I didn't do that.
Do I need to remind you that I've been known to fire people, Casey?
The Pentagon knowingly administered an agent that causes violent, psychotic behavior, and they've subsequently chosen to conceal that fact.
Then why don't we get a U.S. attorney to whip up a RICO charge while we're at it?
Not a bad idea.
I always like to hear about these nefarious forces inside our government who inexplicably committed these wicked acts. And it's a great way to avoid using logic. And it must be very cozy in your Upper West Side apartment, sipping Chardonnay with your friends and talking about how evil the military is, while young men and women are getting blown to smithereens by car bombs.
I'm gonna have to object to any insinuation that I'm somehow anti-military or anti-troops. You know, my father was a door gunner on a Huey in Vietnam. He was in 3 chopper crashes and he got a Purple Heart. Listen, I support our troops, and that's why I want to stop the Pentagon from prescribing a pill that could kill them. Sir.
What you're suggesting doesn't make any sense, Casey. Now, the armed forces may be many things, but one of the things that they're not is inefficient. Now, there's no reason to believe that they would operate against their own self-interest and administer a drug that would render their own soldiers unfit to fight.
Quinium is very efficient, and most people experience minimal side effects, but the Army is about numbers. Some soldiers are gonna die, and whether they die by getting blown up by a bomb or taking a pill, at the end of the day, it's just another dead soldier, and they're gonna get more. The Army could have prevented this. They chose not to.
That's your opinion.
Would you take Quinium? Would you let your grandchild? Listen, I won't convene an indicting grand jury. I'll convene an investigating one. Let them hear the evidence and decide if anyone's criminally responsible.
This is not going to end the way you want it to. But all right, you've got your grand jury. Now, would you please inform the Secretary of Defense that his presence will not be required? What the hell were you thinking?
Cora's mom went to the papers. How's that my fault?
You gave her the bologna and she made the sandwich. It says so on page 3. You told her to shout her story to the rooftop.
She's frustrated and she's voiceless, and the law can't help her.
Which is the reason you have no business involving yourself in this mess.
We speak for the victims, and you taught me that.
crime victims. Nobody's committing a crime here.
Mike Juergens did. So should a rapist who's been her husband for a week get to pull the plug on Cora?
She married him,
He conned her. He doesn't know what Cora really wants.
and you do.
Her mother does,
Based on what? Letters, diaries, a memorable conversation, a living will?
based on a mother knowing her child.
That's not enough.
There's a difference between law and justice.
Casey, I agree, but this is not your fight.
Casey, turn on New York 1.
Protect the disabled. Looks like there's no stopping Mama now.
This rapist is trying to kill Cora. Do not let him do it. Please, I know my daughter. I know she wants to live. Help me fight back. This is legalized murder. Please, help me send a message to the judge to protect the disabled.
Don't let a tragedy turn into a circus. Convince Mrs. Kennison that the case ought to be tried in a court of law, not in a court of public opinion.
There's over 1,000 places in Queens alone they could have dumped Jennifer in the car. We don't even have a place to start.
You can start by thinking about what the hell you're doing before you do it.
Here we go. I tried to reach you. Your secretary said you were giving a speech.
You guaranteed an indictment on the record in open court?
I had no choice.
We're going to be lucky if we don't get sued by those three boys for false arrest.
We know they did it, Mr. Branch. We've got DNA, videotapes, witnesses.
Without a body or a confession, arresting them today makes us all look like idiots. Now find the girl or flip one of those kids before their lawyers find out what we got on them. The hell wasn't Jason King in protective custody?
His parents volunteered to take him out of town.
With Nick Pratt and Doug Waverly out on bail, it was only a matter of time till they found out where Jason was. Is SVU tight?
As a drum, sir, there's no way the leak came from my people.
I doubt if it came from Casey. That leaves Liz Donnelly's office.
I'll notify her.
No, you won't. Not yet.
You're not suggesting that she's...
The leak? Of course not. It's just that her people are the only ones I can't vouch for. You know, if she stops the trial now, double jeopardy attaches. We can never try Pratt or Waverly on these charges again.
Well, can't you read Jason's grand jury testimony at trial?
Not unless we can prove he's been harmed. 14th Amendment gives Nick and Doug the right to face their accuser.
If we don't find Jason soon, I'm going to run out of witnesses.
Get some more. Keep our case alive. Stall as long as you can.
In trouble.
I heard. We can't bank on the police to find Jason.
Any advice?
When under attack, circle the wagons. Go back to your office, Casey. Relax. Breathe. And meet me downstairs by my car at 6.
We going somewhere?
Arthur, Casey.
We need to talk to you.
In the middle of a trial, I don't think so.
The defense had their ex parte moment.
In chambers, not my living room.
This is different. Can you step outside a moment?
Why the cloak and dagger routine?
We couldn't take the chance your house was bugged.
Bugged? Why would anybody want to bug
Jason King, our star witness, disappeared last week. We have evidence he was kidnapped, but we can't prove it.
The leak's not in our office, Liz, or SVU. Whoever took Jason had to find out where he was from somebody that works for you.
You think I have a mole in my office and you didn't tell me?
My orders. If Jason's still alive and the kidnappers find that we're on to them, they could kill him. Couldn't risk it.
We're going to the courthouse.
Casey never told me Jason's location. She wrote it on a piece of paper, which I shredded after I dictated the information.
To your secretary?
To my dictaphone. My secretary hasn't transcribed the tape yet. Is that me?
I'm afraid so.
Is that the bug?
Yes, sir. Battery's still working.
It could have been there for months, and I never would have found it.
Is there any way to find out who bought it?
Well, this is a cheap one available on the internet from dozens of vendors. The receiver should be close by. I'll see if I can find it.
Who would do something like this?
Nick Pratt and Doug Waverly's parents have deep pockets. Probably bought somebody off.
I inherited my staff. I don't know that much about them.
And you can't ask them now.
We could sure use a mistrial here, Liz.
Unless you can prove Nick Pratt and Doug Waverly bugged this office or that they murdered Jason King, you haven't got grounds for mistrial.
We're out of witnesses.
I know, Casey, and I don't like it any more than you do. But I can't play games with the law. If you can find Jason by tomorrow, show me that he's met with foul play, I'll grant a motion to have his grand jury testimony read to the jury. Otherwise, there's nothing I can do.